All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Megan with Ocean Rehab and Fitness. And thank you for those of you that have been coming back every week. I love it. And thank you those that are new joining today. That's really awesome. So today's workout is going to be focusing on rows, rotations, and some breathing. Okay, so we're going to start with some breathing, but before we do all that, I'm going to show you what we need. So if you have a band, that would be awesome. I'm going to give you two variations today with the band work. So if you are able to set up where you can hook your band up to something, I like to use a door handle. I'm not going to show you today because I'm going to stay here on the couch to show you everything. But if you're able to set yourself up with the screen, have the band attached to something so that we can do our rows from that. Okay, if you can't, it's okay, not a big deal. I'm going to show you the variation of where we don't need to do that. But for some of us that can't have our both arms out or we need a little more stability, I do recommend setting yourself up next to a door handle. And that's the easiest one, or a sliding glass door that has the like the handle that you can loop these through. That's always a really good option as well. Okay, so that's what you're going to need for number one. And then number two is your dowel. It can also be a hockey stick, a broom, an umbrella, whatever you have, a paddle, whatever you have. Just make sure that it's wider than your shoulders, okay? That's two. And then today we're also going to incorporate a ball. It doesn't have to be this big, but I would like it to be light. So if you have like medicine balls, I think some of us have some medicine balls, make sure that it's light, nothing over 2 pounds today. Otherwise, something light. If you don't have a ball, it can even be here. It can even be like something like this, or even if you want to hold like a grapefruit. If you absolutely don't have a ball, it can be like a water bottle. That's fine. I just find the balls easier to grip when we're doing this. But once again, just work with what you have at home, because that's what this is all about. Okay. We've had a lot of people just join last minute. That's awesome. Cool. All right. So get those three things and then get yourself set up. I'd like you in a really tall seated position. If you don't need the back of your chair, I recommend putting like a cushion or something just behind you in the chair so that we can sit tall. I want your back to be away from any backrest if possible. Obviously, if that's not accessible to you, that's fine. And sorry, just reading a comment. Hi, can I promote you to a panelist that Megan can see? Oh, okay. Awesome. So here we go. So we're going to sit nice and tall, and we're going to bring your hands to your abdominals. So we want to be like rib cage-ish for this. So just below your rib cage, there's two different ways of basic breathing. Okay, and some of you that have worked with me in the past know what I'm talking about. But there's two basic ways of breathing, and there's one where we inhale and we really use the chest to breathe. So we have all these secondary breathing muscles, which are actually part of your core, but we tend to use the lungs. And what that looks like is a big expansion of the lungs. So if everybody just wants to try, good, and then you'll see how my chest puffs up and then comes down. Try it again. So you can see a visual there, right? Okay, so that's one way of breathing. For any of you that have a higher level SCI, that will not be that easy to do, and that's okay, but just bear with me. Okay, so the other version is getting through the breath into the diaphragm, which is going to be a bit deeper and lower by our abdominals, which is why I want us to have our hands here. So what this looks like is just expanding in the belly and not letting the chest rise and fall. Okay, so try that. So big expansion, belly expands, and then exhale. Okay, this can be audible or not. I'm going to stay somewhat audible so that you can hear me and try and get in a bit of a rhythm. Inhale, belly breath. And exhale. Good. Okay, inhale. And exhale. And inhale. and exhale. Good. We're going to do 5 more together. Ready? Inhale. Big belly breath and exhale. And again, inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. Good. 2 more here. Big inhale and exhale. And last time, inhale and exhale. Good. So I challenge you to try that every day. Try and do just 10 cycles of deep belly breathing every day, and it just really helps us center and get into the body so that we can take the cues throughout a workout and really recognize what I'm trying to target for you, and you can really sense what we're trying to focus on in a certain movement. So even if you start doing that at the beginning of your day, right when you get up or right before a workout, that would be great. Okay. Oh, bless me. All right, so we're gonna do our warm up now. So now that you've done your breath, I want you to try and think about doing that throughout your workout if you can, even though I'm gonna be shooting out 1,000 of other cues at you. If you are able to focus on something else, try and make that secondary focus to your breath, okay? Here we go. So we're gonna start with our shoulder rolls coming forward nice and big. 1 and 2 and 3, that's it, and 4, 5 and 6 and 7, good, 8, this is 9, 10, and we're reversing it, and 1 and 2, good. For those of you that are joining in late, we just need a ball of some type, a dowel, and a band, and it can be hooked up to a door if able. And 10, good. Now we're going to turn to the right with our head and center and left and center. Okay, just a reminder, those of you that are new, if you have any questions or comments throughout this workout, you can put it in the chat and I will read it as soon as possible. Okay. Awesome. 4 more here. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And now we're going to tip up, up, center, and now we're not going to hang the head, we're going to tuck the chin and center. So there's a difference there. Up, center, and try and tuck the chin and center. Good. And again, up and center, tuck the chin and center. And again, up and center, tuck the chin. 1 more each way. Up and center, tuck the chin. And now we're going to do a tip, ear down to the shoulder. Make sure your chin is staying facing forward, up, and then other side, and up. Good. We might have some tightness in here, so just go easy. Nothing in warm-up is crazy. We want to keep it just gentle. That's what a warm-up is. We're just getting movement in the body, getting some friction, getting rid of that friction in your fascial layers with your muscles, getting some blood flow. Okay, nothing crazy should be done in warm-up. Some of us, I know, like to go pretty gung-ho from the get-go, so we want to make sure that it's gentle, unless, of course, you've already worked out today and you're warm, which is a few of you in here that I see. Thursday is a double-up workout day for a few of us. Excellent. Okay, and now you're going to tip the chin, roll, just a half head roll, and then ear to the other side, and half head roll, and ear to the other side, and half head roll, ear to the other side, and half head roll, ear to the other side. That's it. Half head roll, ear to the other side, half head roll, ear to the other side. Good. We're going to rotate over and sweep across all the way as far back as you can, and then back down. Okay, over, reach across, sweep as far back as you can, and then down. That's it. Over, sweep across, Try and go as far as you can. And down, really opening that chest. Sweep. Over. And down, one more time each side. Sweep. Over. Hi, George. Thanks for coming. And other side. Rotate. Sweep. Over. And center. Now we're going to reach up. I want you to look at your hand. And we're reaching up to the ceiling. We're not reaching over our head. It's up. Okay, really important because we want to get that nice big long side body stretch. And other side. Up. And good. Other side. Up. And that's it. Remember that breathing we did at the beginning? Try and keep that here. I'll try and remind you throughout today. Last 3 here together. Reach. And reach. And reach. Nice. Now we're going to take our hand to our shoulders and we're going to do a big circle 1. So this is with the elbow, not the shoulder. So it's like you're painting a circle with your elbow in the air. Nice and big. And then we go 10 and then other way 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Awesome. Bring that arm down. Other side, coming forward first with that elbow. 1, 2. So notice how my shoulder doesn't really move. I'm not shrugging up to my ear. I'm keeping it down. And 7, 8, 9, and other way, coming forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is 8, 9, and 10. Awesome. And now we're going to tuck the chin, round down through the spine. Let's get some spinal flexion and extension here. All the way down, rounding. Slowly come up. Hands behind you if you can. Shoulder blades in your back pockets. Eyes to the sky, heart to the ceiling. And we lift. Okay, and we're doing that again. Coming all the way down. Tuck the chin. Rounding in the spine. The worst posture ever here. I want you to really round that spine. Okay, if you have rods, obviously you're going to have to adapt that one. Just do what you can. Eyes to the sky, hands behind you, shoulder blades in your back pockets. Try and make a big C curve the opposite way with your spine. Okay, and again, rounding in the spine. We're doing 2 more here. Tuck the chin, coming all the way down. Slowly coming up. Hands behind your back, eyes to the sky, and reach. And very nice. Good. Now we're going to rotate and try and tap over your shoulder. We're doing a lot of rotation today, so I want to make sure we're warming that up. And 2. And 3. Remember that breathing. 4. And 5. And 6. And 7. If I go too fast for you, it's okay. Just stay at your pace that you're comfortable with, because I'd rather you focus on your form and what you're doing and controlling your movement and throwing the movements away just to keep up with me. Okay? You can always go back and watch this later and pause it and slow it down. That's the beauty about the Disability Foundation, is recording it and then they're going to post it. Okay? So that'll really help. Okay, so now I want us to get into the shoulder blades. So if you aren't able to tap your back, and what I'm doing is just tapping right in between my shoulder blades, right here. So I'm just getting some kinesthetic awareness here. If you can't do that, whether it's around or back like that, just grab your dowel and just give yourself a little tap and just get some kinesthetic awareness back there for some scapular squeezes. Okay, so now we're going to bring the chest up. We want to think of that collarbones being super wide. Okay, and you're going to think of a tiny little blueberry in between your shoulder blades. We're going to squish it. Squish, and then rest. Good. Okay, and again, squish, and relax. Okay, notice here is a really good place to focus on that breath because it's just a tiny little movement. Good, and again. Nice, and again, 7. And again, 8. That's it. And 9. And again, 10. And relax. Good. In between that and our next set, we're going to do a set of angels. So we really want to think of opening that chest up. Hands start at 90 degrees, nice and wide. So my arms are nice and far back. We don't want to have them here. Okay, coming up, reach up overhead, and then right back down to where you started. 2. And 3. That's it. 4. And 5. And 6. Notice how my shoulders aren't coming up. So this gap right here stays really big. 8. 2 more. 9. And 10. And give yourself a little rest. That might be a lot of work for some of us. So take a little break, and then we're going to do that again, starting with your scalp squeezes. So if you need to, go ahead and tap that spot again. You shouldn't really need to if we were getting the squeeze in the first place, but go ahead if you need to, that's totally fine. Eventually, we'll work our way to just be able to remember that space. Okay, here we go. And 10 here. Squeeze that little blueberry and relax. Good. Notice how my chin isn't coming up. So I'm holding that imaginary ball or peach under the chin. As we do this exercise, we're not letting the chin come up. Very important. 3, and rest. Good. So even though we're isolating and we're doing these tiny little isolation exercises, it doesn't mean the rest of the body goes to crap, right? We got to keep everything is, it's all the big picture. Because that's life, right? We're never going to isolate something in life. We're going to twist and bend and reach and rotate and do all those things at once. So we need to make sure that even when we are isolating these little movements, we're in complete control of everything else and aware of what's going on. Okay, last 4. And 2. And 3. Good, and again, 4. And good. Last time here, bringing those arms up 90 degrees. Okay, no weights for some of you keeners. There's a reason why we're doing this without weight. Okay, chest lifted, open those arms. 1. And 2. You'll get to use weights here soon. And 3. And 4. This is a mobility exercise. 5. And 6. And 7. 8. 9. That's it. And 10. And take a little break. Awesome. All right, we're pretty warm. So go ahead and get your band set up. Okay. I mentioned you having it on a door. I'm not going to show that version because I'm going to stay right here with, just so it's easier for everybody to see. It'll take too much time for me to move everything. But if you know you have an accessible area with a door that you can hook your band to, we're going to be doing single arm rows. So go ahead and do that now. Some of you use the back of your chair, whatever, as long as you can still see me. Okay. Otherwise, what we're going to do is if you need to, if you have any compromised grip, you can either just like triple wrap the band around your hand and hold it out. Okay. Or if you need a little more assistance, go ahead and just loop the band and make a double knot in the end, like so that you have a handle, and then you can use the handle. Okay. So go ahead and do that. I'm going to show it at an angle just so that y'all can see what I'm doing. But we want to have the arms straight out in front of us. Okay, I would prefer if you work out consistently and you have a couple different types of bands, I would recommend the thicker one today, okay, for rowing. Okay, if you've never done this before, which most of us I would say actually have, go ahead and use that thicker band, okay? So coming in, grabbing with the other hand, and we're going to think of driving our elbow down behind us. And we're thinking of squeezing that armpit and then straight. Okay, open, and then here. Good. 3. That's it. Okay, we're gonna do 15 together. And if that's too much with the thick band, you just do what you can and make sure it's even on both sides. And 6. That's it. Keeping that collarbone long, lifting in that chest. Last 5 here. And 2. And 3. And 4. And 5. Excellent. Okay, and then we switch to the other side. So I'll just angle so you can see. I'll give you a couple seconds to change your setup if you need to. If you're at the door, all you need to do is switch your hand, okay? And maybe angle your chair different depending on how your setup is. Okay, otherwise our arm is out. Here we go. Drive that elbow down and back and then extend. 5, good. And 6. And 7, that's it. And 8, 9, and 10, last 5, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and relax. Good. All right, band away, or not away, but just aside for the time being. And you're gonna grab your dowel. Dowel rotations, okay? So we've been working on this in the past, and my biggest thing with this that I don't wanna see is you taking the dowel all the way over. That's not a rotation. So do you see how my torso, my belly button, it's still facing you. We don't want that. We want to rotate through the trunk. So you're only rotating, your dowel is only going with your belly button. So if I had a string attached to the center, right to my belly button, they would move together. So it's not a very big movement, but it's initiated from the trunk, from your rotational muscles. Okay, here we go. We are going to be doing 30. Rotate and then center. Also a good place to think about your breathing. Think of where your focus is. Think of what's happening in your chest. Are we lifted? Okay, are your feet on the floor? Can you feel your butt and your feet pressing into the floor? There should be no wiggling in the hips. Okay, especially if you do have function in your legs, try and not wiggle through your hips. Okay, there should be no movement down there. That's it. Awesome. Keep moving. There's quite a few of these because we're doing 15 on each side, and you are halfway. That's it. Draw those abs in. Think of the belly button coming into the spine, really initiating that through your trunk. Okay, this can even be done with a chest strap on. Don't feel like you can't do it with that. It may help to loosen it, but if you need it, you can still do that same initiation feeling. Okay, last 10 here. 9. Remember, this is at your own pace. 8. 7. If you need to tune me out in my counting, that's fine. 6. And 5. And 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. And relax. Good. All right, set that aside. Today we are doing a tri-set. So normally we do a superset, which is 2 exercises back to back. Today we're doing 3. So grab your ball. We're going to do kayaks, but with a ball. So we've done this before with the dowel, but now we're doing a ball. So we're going to dip, we're going to rotate. So this is the same rotation you just did, but I'm going to let you rotate a bit more because the ball is going to go down and back, center. Down and back, center. Down and back, center. Okay, here we go. 30. Stopping in the center every time. Okay. I know some of you have stability balls at home. Some of you that are ambulatory. I would recommend trying this for a challenge. on your stability ball. Okay, Mariana, I'm thinking of you potentially. Otherwise, we are seated nice and tall. That's it. Okay, and we are halfway right here. Keep moving. So this, if you don't have the ball, this is where we can be holding a water bottle, something brown, grapefruit, whatever. That's it. Counting down, this is 10. And 9, don't worry, you get a break after this, 8. And 7, and 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and time. Awesome. Take this time, that was 3 different ones. So if you have any questions, I recommend writing it in the chat now on the break, and I'll answer. If you have any questions or comments to you personally or anything like that, shoot me a message now while we're resting for about 30 seconds, and then we're doing all of that again. Okay. Get water. All right, so we're gonna go back to our row. So if you need time, get yourself set up at the door. Otherwise, we are using our band. Okay, I'm gonna start with the other side this time. I choose to do that for me simply because then I'm not in a habit of always starting with my dominant side. I've guided some of you to do the opposite. So depending on what you're working with and how in tune we are or how on par we are with our nervous system, you may want to always start with your dominant side so that we can give those signals to the next side. So if I've spoken to you about that, please stick with that pattern that I've talked to you about. Otherwise, I do recommend you try switching every time. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, and 1. 15 reps here. Remember that belly breathing we did? Here's where you do it. Okay, 5 more for me. Nice and tall. Check your posture. And 5. That's it. Good. Switching sides. 3, 2, and go. That's it. Really squeeze that armpit. Feel that shoulder blade driving all the way along your back. Just like those scap squeezes we did, but now it's only one side. Right? 5, counting down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Band aside. Rotations with the dowel. Okay. Starting in 3, 2, 1. 30 here. Belly breathing. Think of getting taller with every rotation. Feel those feet in your platform or in the floor. Should be solid, right? No movement in those hips on this. Rotating from the trunk. Okay. The dowel isn't very far away from my chest, so don't worry about it being really far out. You don't need to extend your elbows. It's pretty close. So even if you do have a chest strap on, you could probably even still do this with it loosened if you wanted to try it, because I'm not asking you to extend your elbows. You are way over halfway. Ready? We're going to count down here. And 10. This is 9. 8. Belly breathing. 7. 6. And 5. 4, and 3, and 2, and 1, and you are done rotations. Excellent. Put that dowel aside. Grab your ball. Kayaks with the ball. So you're allowed to dip down as far as you'd like with your arms, but we're not rounding to do it. So it's more of a rotation. I'm not looking for a hinge forward. It's just a rotation, okay? Because I've done different in the past. So just be clear, this isn't a dip forward. We're just rotating and dipping the arms down. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna start on this side. 3, 2, and 1. Dip, dip. Your dip will look better than mine because I'm hitting my couch. So if you're in your chair, make sure you're dipping all the way as far back as you can towards your hip, okay? That's it. Breathing. Okay, you're halfway here. Really let that chest rotate. Everything's rotating. You can even take your eye gaze over where your chest is going. Okay, this is 10, 9, 8, this is 7. Really reach down, 6, and 5, and 4. Breathing. Keep moving. 3. Don't give up now. 2, and 1, and relax. Awesome. All right, take a break. Again, we are doing a 3rd round today. Triple set, 3 rounds. Okay, we'll start in about 35 seconds. Give people time to set up their band if they need to. Hope everyone's doing okay. I'd be curious to see who is actually using a band at the door. So when we're done the workout, if you don't mind, just putting in the chat for me if you are someone who actually is using a door and doing a single arm row that way. I'd be curious to know, just to see how accessible that is for the majority of our participants here. Okay, so if you don't mind at the end, just typing that in. That'd be cool. All right, coming right back, last set, and then we're moving on. I'm gonna now start on this side. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. Thank you, Janice. Last 5. And 5. Excellent. Good. Other side. Okay. Nice and tall. 3, 2, and 1. Don't worry about the angle being straight on. As long as it's within, like, between your neck and your belly button. I don't really care which angle it's at. That's all going to be pretty similar. Okay. So typically a door handle is going to be a really good height for like a manual or a power chair. And last one. And relax. Awesome. Bend down. Dowel rotations. Okay, here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Really using that trunk to rotate. Remember, this isn't about the arms here. That's it. And belly breath like we did at the beginning. That's it. Okay, you're halfway here. Keep moving. Everybody's doing great. We're all still here. And exhale as you rotate. Inhale. This is 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And good. Done with that. Put that aside. Grab your ball. Last time with your kayaks. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Dip. Nice and tall. We're not hinging. We're just rotating and dipping into the water. Exhale on the rotation if you can. You're halfway there. Breathing. Nice. Last 5 here. Rotate, dip, rotate, dip, rotate, dip. 2 more. And relax. Excellent. All right, take a break, and then we are moving on to other things. Okay? We'll start in about 30 seconds. Okay, so this next, we're going to do a superset. Okay, so we're going to be doing 2 exercises instead of the 3. Okay, the first one's a little bit different of a setup. So I'm just going to move the computer down so that you can see. Basically, you would either put this, like me, under my feet, or you would hook your band under your chair somehow. So usually your foot plates, you can usually just, if you can chuck this down and put it under your foot plates, okay? So I'll just move this down. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is just put these under my feet, like so, okay? So now that you've seen that, I'm gonna move this back up, okay? And what I would like most of us to do is find a pillow. I know you can't see my face, but I'm gonna just show you what we're doing. We're gonna find a pillow here for our lap, okay? Because what we wanna do is lean forward, but have our chest tall. We don't wanna round down like we did in warm up. So just have some type of support here to come forward, and then we're gonna grab that band, okay? We're gonna be doing a row, okay? So once you have that set, we're gonna tip forward, you're gonna grab the band, you're gonna keep your focus down at the floor, and you're gonna roll the band up and then right back to where you started, okay? So up, I hope this is good enough and y'all can see, okay? So the biggest part about this is keeping this wide. If we round down and try and row, we're just gonna use our neck muscles. We're not gonna use our actual back muscles that we wanna target with this, okay? So here we go. Nice and long in the chest, nice wide collarbone. Lifting, I'm definitely resting on this. Don't feel like you have to hold that. Okay, here we go. And we come back, row and down. And row and down. Good. Squeeze. And squeeze. Keep the abs nice and tight if you're able. Okay, if you have a chest strap, I would have recommended to just loosen it slightly, and then you can just lean against your strap. And you won't need a pillow. And 10, that's it. 5 more. 1, keep that focus down at your toes. 2, back in the neck long. 3, and 4 and 5 and rest. Awesome. And I'm just going to leave the band down there because we're going to get back to it again afterwards. Okay. Awesome. Good. Okay. Now we're going to grab your dowel again. Okay. So grabbing your dowel. Thank you, Patty, for your comment. Awesome. All right. So now we're going to grab the dowel and we're going to do a rotation, but this time we're going to do it with our hands over our head. So a little tricky. We're going to lift up, so around the world, and then you're going to rotate here. Back to center, rotate here, back to center, and then the arms come down. Okay? Try that again. We lift, rotate. Don't worry about which way you go first. I'm just going to alternate, and then back down. And again, lift, twist, and down. Good. That's it. Lift, 4. Okay, hang in there. We are doing 15 of these. 5. Keep those shoulders away from those ears, nice and long in that neck. Breathing. Getting taller with every rep. Okay, we're halfway here. Good, belly breath, do what you can. If your arms get tired, maybe you just raise them to your chest height and not overhead on these last 4. 3. And 2. And again, 1. One more. And bring the arms down and take a break. Awesome. Okay, little rest. That's why we're just doing 2 on that one. That one's a little more tricky. So get some water, let your heart rate come down a little bit, or just let yourself cool down a bit. And then we're going to do those 2 again. So I'll move the computer down so that you can see, and we'll do that row where we hook the band under your feet. Also known as a bent over row. If you're a subscriber, we actually have that one on the subscription, and it's shown with dumbbells, and we're going to be adding this one later. Sierra will be. All right, here we go. So my band is already down there. I'll just move this down so that we can see what I'm doing. Maybe a little higher. There we go. Okay, so remember you have your pad here, pillow. Okay, the band is right under my feet or under your pedals, your footrests, whatever. Every chair is a bit different, so there's always a way to hook under there, as much as I've seen anyways. Okay, so chest is lifted nice and long. We're going to keep our focus down, and we're going to row and then release. And row and release. Nice. 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. Good. And 7. Good. Keep breathing. 8, 9. Get really long in your spine. Last 5 here. 2, 3, 4, and 5, and release. Good. Okay, I'll move this. Grab your dowel. Okay, over around the world with a rotation overhead. Here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Lift, rotate, and then down. 2. Try and rotate with your trunk, not just the arms. The arms are just following. This is exactly what we did before, but the arms are just in a different position. Nice. You're halfway here. Feel those feet planted. Getting taller with every movement of the dowel over your head. Okay, 4 more together. And 2. And 3. And 4. And bring it down. Good. Okay, take a little break. We're done with the dowel. We are going to do one more round of the bent over row, and then we're going to do a bit of a cool down. Okay, so just one more exercise. I'll give you about 30 seconds, and then we're going to start. I think some people just joined a little late. Welcome, Lori. Nice to see you. It's awesome. So just a reminder, for a few of you just came in late, so just remember this is recorded, so you can go back and do the full workout later. Okay. All right. Getting set up. So we have our pillow, we have our band, which is down below my feet here. Okay. Nice long spine lifting through the chest. Focus is down on the floor with your eyes, and we're gonna row 1 and 2. That's it. And 3 and 4 and 5 and 6, 7 and 8 and 9. Squeeze those armpits. 10, feel those shoulder blades. We've been working a lot on them this workout. And 2, they should be super warm by now, those muscles back there. And 4 and 5 and relax. Awesome. All right, you can put your band aside. Okay, into a little bit of a cool down. So we're gonna definitely cool down our rotation that we did. Thank you, Neil. I'm glad that you're enjoying it. I try and don't want anyone getting bored on Thursdays. All right, so we're gonna rotate. I'm gonna put you on a timer. We're gonna hold the rotation for 30 seconds. Okay, so you're gonna rotate. You can use your hands on your legs. Keep the chest lifted, looking over your shoulder, and you are on the clock. Five seconds. Make sure you're holding these stretches for 30 seconds, okay? Nothing less. Unwind slowly, nice and slow, and then we go to the other side. Rotate, okay? And you're on the clock. Five seconds. And relax, good. Okay, now we are going to do a neck stretch. So think of grabbing something, $100 bill right here. So we're not gonna hang the head down, we're gonna grab something right up here. So make a bunch of double chins, tuck, and then we're on the clock. Last 10. Slowly release that, good. Just give your shoulders a little bit of a roll. And then forward, get any of that out, good. All right, awesome job everyone. That is the workout today. So once again, it will be recorded. You can go back and watch it. Thanks for coming. If you have any questions or comments, I'm going to stay on for just a few minutes and see if there are any. Otherwise, I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you next Thursday for something different. Thank you.